Welcome, everybody. My name is Chloe Ballatori. I'm a relationship and communication expert. I'm a graduate of Princeton University and Pat Allen's Want Institute. She mentored me directly, and I use the tools of her doctoral work, which is called androgynous semantic realignment. I also use the tools of Eric Berne's transactional analysis, and I use tools that I created myself um, because I've been doing this for over 10 years now. Okay. It's absolutely fine to observe. You don't have to participate. I'm just responding to this message. A lot of times people, um, don't participate for a long time and then suddenly they'll participate. So there's no pressure. So welcome to everybody who is new and of course my old timers. I'm going to start with a brief description of what this work is based on because everything I'm going to talk about tonight is rooted in established psychological and scientific principles. That part's not new, but I will go over those principles. The tools to execute on those principles is really what is unique about the work that I do. Um, because a lot of times we learn in therapy a lot of theory and we get to um, have our feelings reflected and our thoughts listened to, and that's a very pleasant and valuable experience. But this work is really results oriented. So it's really about executing on the theory rather than just listening and absorbing the theory. Gets um, everybody gets homework. Everybody will, you know, I I love for people to share once they have done some of the work. I love to hear your guys' updates. Hopefully, we'll get some of those tonight. And it's a very cathartic experience to it's one thing to tell somebody an issue one on one, but it's another to say it in a group. And I do find that having this group, having this place to follow up with people, I've been doing this meetup for 2 years now. So we're really building a community here. And that tends to be very good and very good for people's mental health. Okay. Okay, so what is this work? What am I talking about? When we talk about problems with relationships, what we're often talking about is childhood trauma. And that means things that happen between the ages of 0 and 12 that occurred during our critical developmental windows and threw us off our authentic balance. This work is about bringing balance to your relationships and also to yourself, your relationship with yourself. All relationships are ultimately about the relationship with self. So, the most successful relationships are those that are balanced between feminine and masculine energies, also known as yin and yang. That's not new. That's thousands of years old, right? And then we also have scientific discoveries. In the 1980s, Roger Sperry got a Nobel Prize for dissecting the brains of newts and definitively proving to us that we have a right hemisphere of the brain, which is our center of feelings and yin activity, passive, patient, vulnerable. The yin energy or the right brain is about nonlinear thinking, creativity, sensuality, sexuality, magic. Um, Yin energy is in the world to make it fun, but it's not of the world. And then all of us have a left brain, which is the yang energy, which is linear thought. This is the masculine side, competitive, conquering, controlling, doing, achieving, giving, nurturing, taking care of. These are yang or masculine qualities. There's a lot of confusion about yin and yang and masculine and feminine. If you want to get more into it, there's a great book called The Yin Yang of Life by Dr. Kim and Dr. Lee that I highly recommend. But that's the basic breakdown. all of us are both. All of us have yin energy, all of us have yang energy, and we have a unique balance that is authentic to us and works for us. As I said earlier, when we have childhood trauma, that will throw that balance off, which will usually make a girl child act dystonic masculine and a boy child act dystonic feminine, meaning um, it will cause a girl to become precociously related, take on extra responsibilities, not cherish her feelings, but be very achievement oriented, for example. Um, that's the Wendy archetype, if you think of Peter Pan and Wendy. And then on the other side of it is the Peter Pan archetype, is a boy who was never given responsibility or respect, either neglected or spoiled. Either one causes damage, and that is the Peter Pan archetype. Um, I'm doing this really quickly. Those are, in a nutshell, what some common archetypes that we deal with when we do this work. So a lot of this work is evacuating what happened to us when we were children, because what we do is we take the patterns that we set as children, we take the coping mechanisms that we establish as children into our adult lives, and specifically into our romantic relationships and our intimate relationships. Um, and when we do that, we recreate the past. We think that what we're bringing are existential truths, right? We think that these coping strategies are based on existential truths that are eternal. But in fact, they're only strategies of the moment that we as human children need to implement in order to stay on good terms with the people who own the refrigerator. We have to sacrifice authenticity for attachment when we're children. Almost all of us have to do that at some point. And so the great thing about being an adult is that we can now survive on our own and live more authentically. The problem often is that we have scripts from our childhood that are still playing out in our adult years. And these scripts are tenacious. If you have worked with me for a while, you know that some of these scripts can really be deeply embedded, and you have to persevere to take counteractions against them. And so I really help people a lot with that. Um, Change is always painful, even change that's for the better. I don't think people realize that oftentimes. And so when they're making changes and it's for the better, at first it feels really good. Then you hit a hard spot and you want to stop doing it. And then you revert back perhaps to old ways or old relationships, old patterns that don't serve you. And then making the change the next time, it just gets so much harder. So I do try to help people with understanding the pain of change versus the pain that change needs to take place. So that's another thing that I do. I've written 4 books on this work. I put them in the chat. Those are some of the resources. If you guys do like this stuff, I teach this work in small groups, so you get much more in depth on the theory. That's in the module packages link. I put original content on IG and TikTok and YouTube every day. You can check out my website, it has a bunch of collateral there, and also the link to my books, which again are on Amazon. So check those things out. And then this meetup is being recorded and will be available for people on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Okay. So now I'm going to open it up to you guys for questions. Mm, This is my favorite part. And you can really ask me about anything. This work, I often work with people on relationships and dating because that's what provokes people to change, because they're lonely and they want to be in a relationship. But these principles translate to family relationships, to friendships, to work relationships. I mean, you name it. These are principles of truth. Okay. Wendy.
Hi there.
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How can I help you?
Yeah, I had that date with the guy last week.
Oh, nice.
You remember that?
Yes, the caregiver.
Yes, wow, good memory. So, can you hear me from here? I'm a little far from the.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, yeah, we met in the park and it went well. And I wasn't nearly as nervous as I thought I would be, which was cool.
That's really good. You're starting to desensitize a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
It's getting easier.
Maybe, yeah. Um, I didn't feel super connected to him, but that's okay. I mean, it takes me a while, I think. So the way it was ended was we gave each other a big hug, and he said, well, not at the very end, when he was talking near the end, that, he was trying to come up with things we could do next. And he said that he would come up with something that, that I could do, or
Nice.
and nice, except that it's Thursday and I haven't heard from him. So I'm just not quite sure what to do. I did accidentally text him once, I think like Tuesday or something, trying to text someone else. And we ended up chatting just a short bit. I know, fortunately, I didn't say anything awful, or
That's
when that
funny.
happens, it's so awful. Um,
Yeah.
no, it was fine. We chatted for a short bit. And other than that, nothing. So he's not, I mean, he's a guy of like total, what's it, integrity. He wouldn't just ghost me. I would really doubt that, but I'm just not sure what to do. Do I just wait or?
Yeah, just wait. I mean, not wait. You go do whatever you want. Don't wait for him, but don't reach out to him and be like, I mean, you guys aren't in a relationship yet, right?
No, so don't even
Yeah.
text or chat.
No, no,
The thing
no.
I'm worried about is that the same thing might be happening as in that the past dating where they're not sure what I can do and they're not sure how interested I am. And so they're waiting for some signs from me.
Oh, for you to say like you're feeling good today or something.
Something like that. I mean, we never talked like he did, he didn't outright say, let me know when you're feeling good, but
Hmm.
maybe that's part of it. Or honestly, I think he may be
Well,
wondering
let's
how.
give it when did you see him last Sunday?
Sunday, Sunday.
Okay. So let's give it at least a week.
Yeah,
If he doesn't reach out to you by next week, there might be a reason that you could need to reach out to him and ask for help, or, we could maybe craft something to let him know that you're available without like necessarily asking him out because that would put you in the masculine. Um, so let's just wait. I mean, you do whatever you want to do, cherish your
right.
feelings, go out with somebody else, go out with two other people, ideally. But yeah, don't reach out to him.
Don't even reach out to chit chat, right?
No, no.
Okay. What if he is thinking, well, I guess she doesn't like me.
Well, we have to find out if he's a man of his word. He said, I'm going to plan something for us to do.
Yeah, got
So
it,
is he going to do that or not?
got it, got it.
Maybe next week, if we still haven't heard from him, we'll say, hey, what happened to you? Because I'm with you. Sometimes men lose their nerve because, well, part of it is like the day and age we're living in, and things have changed
Yeah,
so much for men, especially
right.
older men like he is. And he's older, so he's going to be a little bit more feminine, but still, I know you want to be in the feminine, so we don't want to cherish his feelings. So let's just wait till next week and see if he reaches out. If he doesn't reach out, maybe we'll say something like, um, where'd you go? I'm feeling pretty good this week. And then put a smile and see if he takes the bait.
Uh-huh.
But let's wait. Let's give him a chance to step up.
Okay,
Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. And
thank
excellent
you.
work. I'm really happy you guys went out and it was you know, y- give him 3 dates.
You know what also helped? He was wearing sunglasses the whole time, except he took them off in the beginning just so I could see his eyes.
Hmm.
And I think that made me feel less connected to him, but it's also a lot easier on my eyes and probably my nervousness, which isn't good. That's not a healthy thing, but
Well, you're incrementally desensitizing to some of these things.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's okay.
Okay.
Maybe next time you'll have more eye contact. But eye
Thank
contact is very intimate. That's why it's the cornerstone of flirting.
Yeah.
Oops. Did you have something else to say, Wendy? I didn't mean if I
Oh,
muted.
oh no, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, okay. I didn't know. I thought maybe I muted you. Okay, Sophia.
Hey,
Hi,
um,
Sophia. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How can I
Um,
help you?
I was just I was taking a break from men for a little bit after that crib guy
Right.
really turned me off for a while, and that was like in the beginning of January. Actually, it was like the beginning of February where I broke up with him, and I'm still feeling like really burnt out. I have this trend of like every time I break up with somebody, I'm like, oh, I want to rebound. And like, I never find one. Or I do find one and it crashes and burns again. In
Right.
this case, I didn't find one. And I looked really hard. And now I'm in a position where I'm not only burnt out of him, I'm also burnt out of looking. And I was wondering from your experience, uh, when when does that feeling of discouragement and like not wanting relationships usually last?
I mean, there's no one size fits all on that. Um, I totally understand you're frustrated. Maybe you do need to take a break for a little while, but you could do things. Are you doing your flirting?
No, I don't even like that's how like tired I am. It's like I go out, but like I don't even scan the room anymore.
Okay. Well, take a break then. I mean, if you don't
Yeah.
feel like it, at some point you'll get lonely enough, you'll be, or somebody will catch your eye and you won't be able to help yourself. You'll have to go for it.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be like, you don't have to push yourself. At the same time, sometimes if you don't do anything for a long time, you could get into a little bit of a rut, because inertia
Yeah.
sort of builds on itself.
Hmm.
So I'd say if 2 months go by, we talk a lot about the 8 weeks. So if 8 weeks go by and you're still kind of in a funk, then there might be some things we could do so that will help you snap out of it. Because sometimes there's just, a moment or two that need to be pushed through, but we get in our heads and we get kind of the momentum or the lack of momentum of inertia, you know, it
Yeah.
can be hard to move forward.
Yeah, I think I've already reached the well, I reached the 2 month mark since breaking up with that garbage person.
Okay, right. He was
um
inconsistent, right.
yeah. And it's been like a month since I stopped doing the five flirts thing.
Okay, so let's give it one more month
Yeah.
and then we'll reevaluate and see what we can get started up. Another way is just to start cherishing your own feelings, doing
Yeah.
things for yourself where you might not necessarily um meet anybody, but it just might be something that makes you feel good, like taking an art class or a yoga class or
Oh, yeah.
going on a hike with the Sierra Club or, I know you're active in your church, so maybe doing a church activity. You know, just just so that you're not isolating too much.
Yeah. I could do a lot of those things. That actually sounds like something really fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good. You're doing good. Hang in there. It's not a linear process. Feelings always ebb and flow. The important thing is to recognize that you're not going to feel this way forever. That's a guarantee. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Andrew's PC.
Hey, Chloe.
Hi,
I'm
Andrew. How are you?
good. I haven't talked to you in quite some time. I saw you at the psychic convention last month.
Did you?
Um,
I don't think I was there.
I could have swore that was you were no, it was in Marina Del Rey. Oh no, you weren't there, were you?
I don't think I was there.
You didn't have a booth? Okay, I'm mixing
No,
you up with
I
somebody
definitely
else. That's
didn't have
weird.
a booth. It's funny that
All
you
right,
said that though, because there is one of my clients is a psychic and
that
works sometimes for psychic hotline and often refers people to me, but I was not there.
that's weird. Um,
So how
I
can I
can
help you?
just I everything that your introductory speech was exactly what I needed to hear because not really sure where I'm going with finding somebody or having the right person in my life. I'm I definitely work better with a female in my life, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong or why I'm so emotionally drained from the whole situation. I mean, I'm I don't know what I have a problem with. I'm extremely handsome. I'm funny. I do stand-up comedy. Um, and I tend to wonder like what would I be like if I were ugly and um grotesque or something like would I still have this problem? I don't know.
Hmm. Well, okay. I remember, I think last time we talked, you were flirting with a few girls. Okay, so now you're not doing that. Now you don't have anyone around. Is that right?
Mm. You have an incredibly good memory then, I think.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay,
Um,
so you're having a dry spell. Are you doing the five flirts? Did we talk about the five flirts?
um, I last month I ended up getting involved in train wrecks, so that didn't work out very well, and I got too attached to her because this was the first woman that I started getting emotionally attached to that was an alcoholic, and um, you know, I think we went too fast or something because she was coming around. I was giving her space and doing the space thing, trying to let them come to you. Um, and next thing I know, I was at this meeting and she called me on the phone and I had to zip over to her. She's a fashion designer, so she had an important thing going on that night and she was like an emotional wreck and I was trying to be like supportive or something. So she's on the phone with one of her friends and I'm sitting there on the bed with her and then her friend ends up telling her like one of her homies just died in a or motorcycle accident or something. And she just like is literally like an emotional train wreck. And I'm like, can somebody fill me in on what's going on? I don't know if I said something wrong. We had a few bumps in the road a couple times before that. Um, and I mean, you know, she came over to my place once for the first time because I had just moved. Before that, she was at my old place. We saw each other like at one of those parties, uh, those rooftop parties, and I took her on like a first date. It was supposed to be like a um, a spa bath or something, and
Hmm.
she wasn't feeling it. And she's like, "This is seems kind of cultish. I don't like these." She wouldn't even get out of the car, and that's the first time that I found out she had a Gatorade bottle with her, and I thought there was water in there. We were sitting in the sun,
Uh,
and I was getting extremely exhausted. I'm like, "Can I get a swig of that?" And the thing was straight up vodka,
right.
and
Okay.
it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, and it was in a Gatorade bottle. Right.
No, and well, that's the first, and so that kind of scared me away from her
Yeah,
for
totally.
maybe a couple of weeks or something because, but then I met her up again at another rooftop party. It was like the week of the Oscars or something, and Barbie was nominated or something, and we stood in the little booth with the Mattel thing and the Barbie thing, and we had just the cutest picture together. She thought
Okay.
we were cute. We were bonding, we were working it, but
Well, how did things fall apart then?
um
Was it that night where she just was really emotional?
it was the when she yeah, she was getting ready for a fashion
Sure.
design show,
Right.
and
So you
yeah,
weren't able to comfort her. She took it out on you. What happened?
yeah, she took it out on me. That
Right.
sounds like the right way of doing it.
Okay.
Like the I don't give a fuck. And the last thing that she said was, I'm not interested in a relationship. So I took it at face value and just
Yes.
left.
Yes. And was she
And
drunk at the time?
well, no, her friend literally told her to function properly, find her bottle of whiskey or so, or
Oh,
vodka.
right. Okay. Right.
Her friend told her to do that,
Jesus
and
Christ. Right. Okay. Well, that's like,
her
like you
her
said, that's a
apartment her apartment is so trashed, it's worse than mine. I don't think we were a good couple, but it shows my desperateness to find somebody, and
well,
I'm a really good match with the
right.
right person.
Okay. So first of all, you obviously had chemistry with this girl, but you also need compatibility, which means do you want the same things? And communication. And so communication is going to get really hard with somebody who's drunk. And so is
She doesn't get like that drunk. She doesn't go finish an entire bottle, but
she's just a steady drinker.
no, I remember she poured out an entire bottle of Smart Water just to fill it up with vodka so she could walk around with it. Like
Right.
she doesn't want to walk around with an entire bottle of vodka in her purse.
Right, of course.
Weird.
Um, but when drinking does make you dystonic. So when women drink, they tend to go masculine. And I know if I'm remembering correctly, you want to be in the masculine. So it's going to be really hard for you to take care of somebody or stay in the masculine with a
I tried finding out what her love language is, and she definitely, well, she wasn't really too comfortable. I guess touch and feeling comfort isn't exactly her love language. I forgot what it was, but
right. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like it's a really an uphill battle with somebody that drinks that much.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's hard and sometimes, look, sometimes it can work, especially if they want to stop drinking or they want to get better.
For me or for themselves?
If they do it for themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like then
Yeah.
you could be in a position where you might be able to help them, and that would be okay because men do get a lot from helping, right? Men need to do good to feel good. And it sounds like you were trying to do that, but it just wasn't possible. So,
I even gave her a book. It was like a fashion designer book to help her sketch clothing together or something, and she broke out in tears. Oh my God, he's giving me a gift, blah blah blah. And I thought that was off to a great start. And we
yeah,
spent the whole day together. We went to a rooftop and had a drink and lunch and stuff. And then somebody called from a game show saying that they got my application, and I got her involved. And that was like, oh, let's schedule a Zoom meeting for next week. So we did that, and we spent the whole day together. I brought her over to my place. I thought she was going to sleep over. We watched a couple of movies together. And then like around 9:30, 10 o'clock, she kind of was complaining like, why did you turn off the AC? I hate being overheated. I think she was just using an excuse because she wanted to
right,
leave and go
right.
home.
She wanted to go home and drink, probably.
I don't know.
That's how it is with an addict. There's highs and lows. Okay, so let's move on from her.
Yeah.
At least there are women out there that you're attracted to, right? So that's good. And you
I
can
want to,
and
I
you
want
can
to,
reel them in. So go out and start doing your flirts. Did we talk about the flirting?
yeah, I'm just emotionally stressed right now. I get shot down, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm in this emotionally exhausted mood all the time, and I'm trying to figure out if it's because she put me in this state of mind, or I just need to be around positive, uplifting people.
Well, it's true. That you cannot hang out with toxic people. They will bring you down no matter how strong you are. They're like animals at a zoo. You can look at them from afar and think they look cute, but you're not going to go up into the lion's cage and, shake hands, right? So don't really be cognizant if you think that's an issue, really be cognizant of surrounding yourself with more positive people, with people who, not bullshit, not like, everything's great, but people who respect you, right?
Can we possibly go over the 5 flirts, whatever you
Yes.
were talking? Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this is what I want you to start doing. And this will help you get over, there's no faster way to get over an old flame than to find someone new. So I want you to be flirting 5 days a week, even if you're, not feeling 1,000%. Obviously something happened with this girl, triggered you, you get this, you're not the only one. This is where we get triggered most, is in our intimate relationships. And obviously being rejected is also a trigger. So that stuff is very normal. What this will help you do is to desensitize to some of those triggers so that you're not living or dying whether a single girl smiles at you. Okay. So you're in the masculine energy. 4 days a week, you're going to be flirting while you're in the midst of doing your day, whatever that is, going to the grocery store, walking your
And yes,
dog.
finding these women is another thing. It's
Right.
hard.
Right. Okay. So just in the midst of your day, you're going to be looking around. If you see someone who catches your eye, you're going to give her 5 seconds of eye contact with a smile, same time. If
Okay,
she returns that, that's your cue that you could approach. If she doesn't, don't approach. Okay. Now,
got you.
1 day a week, I want you to pick a place where you like the girls that go there, where there's a lot of, cute girls that you'd be interested in hanging out. Maybe one of these rooftop bars. It sounds like you're having good luck there. But it could be the golf course. It could be, the beach. It could be a coffee shop. It could be anywhere, really. Um, and then you plant yourself for 45 minutes to an hour. And, you can bring a book or your phone or whatever, go alone. When you see someone who catches your fancy and you get that eye contact and smile returned, then you're just seated. You can approach. Maybe she can sit down with you. You can have a conversation. When you
But they have to be interested in you in order to do that. How you gonna?
exactly. That's what your signal is if they return your eye contact and smile for a significant amount of time,
Gotcha.
for 3 to 5 seconds,
What
not
about
just a
closing the
polite
deal?
one. What?
What about closing the deal?
What do you mean, getting the phone number?
That's pretty much how this whole thing works, right?
Right. Okay, so let's say you're sitting in a Starbucks and a girl comes in and you give her the eye contact and smile and she returns it, then you got to come up with something that you're going to say. It's not, don't try to reinvent the wheel. She's already showed you she's interested. It could be,
It's the
wow,
kind of
you smell
interest.
really good. Or it could be, that's a beautiful sweater. Or it could be, have you tried the almond mocha cookie? Or, whatever it is, do something that's in the environment that's just much easier.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I love this song. Whatever it is. If she's given you that signal, she'll be receptive. And you can,
Okay.
and you can practice. Now, if you pick a spot and you get comfortable there, that's good because then people have a chance to get to know you. So even if you don't quote close the deal the first time, if you keep going back, people, and this is why people often fall in love at work, because you get to know somebody without the pressure of dating, right? So if you if somebody gets used to seeing you and exchanging a few words, then it might be easier to then say, hey, how do you feel about having dinner with me, or whatever it is.
That's how you get them more interested, is suggesting things.
Well, you want to be doing things that are cherishing their feelings, right? If
Yeah.
you see a girl that is interested in you and she's shivering, you might get up and close the door. right? That's
Yeah.
really basic cherishing of feelings, right? She's cold. I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna offer her my sweater, whatever it is.
Okay.
There was a guy in the group a while back who was at a laundromat and saw a girl he liked. I'm like, pay for her laundry. She was
Wow.
talking to him. They were, you,
That's different.
whatever it is, you'll have ideas. You're a smart guy. You're a stand-up comic. I mean, you're quick on your feet.
Yeah, you would think that. Yeah.
But some of it is the desensitization. So
It's like
try doing those 5 flirts. And if you can't do all of them, try to at least do the seated one. But try doing 5 flirts a week and then let me know how it goes.
5 flirts a week, smile for 5 seconds.
And
Um,
eye contact.
eye contact, that's two. What's the third one?
That's it. It's
Oh,
just the 5 means you're going to be doing it 5 days a week. You can take two
oh,
days
okay.
off of your flirting.
Okay. All right, and just find a coffee shop, a bar. I'm not really good with drinking, so I don't know if a bar is really gonna work.
Okay. Yeah, you can
Um,
play around with a little bit. There was a guy who was going to a coffee shop by a popular yoga studio because there were a lot of girls coming in after yoga.
okay. Okay. I'll find one that's close to a yoga studio. That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, good luck. I'm
All
excited to
right.
hear your update.
Thank you, Chloe.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. And you guys can ask any questions you want, about other people's work or anything I've said so far. This is my one free event that I do every week. Okay, what's this? I have to say relationships are a learning journey. Yes, absolutely. And that's why, so much of the time people think I've got to be better. I can't be in a relationship. I've got to get better first. And it's like, it's very hard to heal without doing any relating. Okay. Hi, Van. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you, Chloe, for having us, for having me. Um, I've been looking for a guy for the past few years, and I want to be in a relationship, and I've been on the dating apps and finally met a guy, and so it's going well.
On the
Uh,
apps, you met somebody?
yes, I did.
Great.
Uh,
Wonderful.
yeah. So, but there's something about him, and I guess, I know communication is important, and I have mentioned that. So the problem, I wouldn't say a problem, but I would like him to take the lead. So it's been happening several times where there's no plans. Like, I'd like to know, hey, we'll meet at 5, we'll do this at 6, we'll go there at
So he's not
7.
initiating plans?
No, no.
Okay.
And
Are you guys in a relationship?
well, we've met, we've been seeing each other 4 times, 5 times now. And I'm the type of person that likes to know, whoa, what time is he?
So
When are we meeting?
how have these 5 assignations taken place then? Have you
Um,
have you been the one to initiate?
well, well, just to give you an example, he said he works until 5:30. He'll get off 5:30. That's a good sign. I know he's getting off at 5:30. And we were planning to go out to dinner. So I was just sitting around waiting. I'm go, okay, should I have dinner with my siblings because they're here? Or should I wait for him to let me know what time to have dinner with him? Because we were
Hmm.
planning to grab something to eat and go out to a movie. So that happened, and okay. So last minute, he texted me and he said, "Okay, let's get together." And I go, "Okay, I'm with my siblings. I'm gonna have dinner with them. I didn't know what time you were gonna have dinner with me, and so I don't, you know."
Okay,
So then
what time did he text you?
he texted me about 5, 5 o'clock or around five, around
Okay.
there, five,
Okay.
five.
So that's fine.
Yeah,
You made other plans.
yeah,
Now he knows if he wants to lock you down, he's got to tell you earlier.
yeah,
So did
yeah,
you end up seeing him that night or not?
yeah. Well, I said, well, okay, I'm gonna have dinner with my siblings, and then we'll just go to the movies.
Okay.
Instead of having
Good.
dinner. It's kind of late to break up the plan or make that
Right.
plan to eat. But yeah, so my question to you is, we've been seeing each other, right, for 5 times now. And how do I keep the relationship going? And I'd like to make it work. I'd like
Okay.
to have something, keep going.
Right.
Um,
You want to like formalize it into a
y-
real
yeah,
relationship.
I have to have I'd
Okay.
like to have a successful blooming
And does that
relationship.
what he want? Does he want, is he also looking for a relationship? Do you know?
Yes, he said, well, we talked about having a long-term relationship. So I said, yeah, me too.
Oh,
Uh,
so did you agree to that?
we did not agree, but we both seemed to be
Oh,
on the
but you just said
same page.
theoretically.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. So, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
What's more important to you? Everybody wants both, but what's more important? Do you want your thoughts respected or your feelings cherished?
Hmm. My feelings cherished.
Your feelings cherished. Okay, so that's the feminine mode. Mostly women fall in the feminine, like 15 to 25% of the time, women want to be masculine, and that's okay.
Mhm.
It just matters that it's balanced. Now,
Mhm.
it sounds like then
Mhm.
this guy needs to be in the masculine. Can I ask you, is he over 50?
He is.
Okay. So what happens to us when we get older is a lot of times women have hormonal drop-offs that make us more masculine, and men have hormonal drop-offs that make them more feminine. And
Mhm.
so that's why older men really need women more than we need them. Um,
Mhm.
because of these hormone drop-offs. Okay.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that he can't still be masculine and you can't be feminine. It just means that you might have to put a little bit more effort into making sure that aligns. So,
Mhm.
right now, if you don't reach out to him, will he reach out to you and make a plan
Well, will he reach out to me and make
eventually? Or have you been the one who's making all the plans?
Well, he would say, okay, let's do something this weekend. So it's kind of vague.
Right.
And so what I just did was I texted him. I said, hey, sure. By the way, I'm doing this Saturday and I'm doing the other one Sunday. So I'm just letting him what my plans are.
So let me give you some tips. When
Uh-huh.
he says, "Hey, let's do something this weekend," say, "Sounds great. What are you thinking?"
Huh.
Ask him about his thoughts.
Uh-huh.
He's vague and non-specific. Ask him what he thinks. If he's talking about his feelings and it's not puking or bleeding, ask him about his thoughts and just try to redirect him. And then you're
Hmm.
going to lead with your feelings. So you're going to say, let's say Friday night, he said, okay, because it sounds like this is another problem that you're having. Okay, let's do something Friday night. Okay. And then Friday night rolls around, and you say, "What are you thinking?" And he says, "Well, I'll text you on Friday." Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Friday starts wearing down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You do need to give yourself a cutoff, and I'm glad you did that with your siblings.
Yeah.
Um, but you could also just, now that you're kind of in a thing with him and that you're in a pattern with him and he likes you, you
Uh-huh.
could just say, "Hey, I just wanted to check in, I'm getting hungry," or something like that. Or, "Hey, I just wanted to see what you're thinking for dinner," you
Mm-hmm.
know and then that will help him make more decisions, because it sounds like he's kind of faltering at that moment of making the decision and like
Mm-hmm.
concretizing the plans.
Mm-hmm.
So what the way you can help him is by showing him respect, which means asking about his thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
also agreeing with him, praising him, asking for his advice,
Mm-hmm.
asking about his deeds.
Mm-hmm.
and leading with your feelings. So it's not like, what the fuck are you doing? It's Friday at 5. It's,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling hungry. What are you thinking? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's never about like mothering him, because I don't
Uh-huh.
want you to slide into that, because it sounds like when he says, you're like, okay, well, you're like laying out the soccer schedule or something. I've
Yeah.
got Saturday blocked out and I've got da
Right.
da 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 da.
Right.
Just say, what are you thinking? Let him ask. You're
Uh-huh.
getting impatient, and so you're
Yeah.
taking the reins.
Yeah.
But that's depriving him of his masculinity, and ultimately it will kill the chemistry between you,
Yeah.
because you're going to be his mommy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be like, okay, we're going to have dinner here and then we're going to the movies, and it's like,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
want, for it to work, we really need to elicit his masculine side.
Mhm. How early? You said a few hours before
I mean,
asking.
that's up to you. It's like
Okay.
up to what you need. I mean, if you know him and you think he's going to come through,
Mm-hmm.
then it's more relaxing to wait, because you're like, oh, he always texts at 5. It's fine.
Yeah.
If that's not okay with you,
Yeah.
then, you got to say, hey, I'm feeling confused. But
Okay.
again, you lead with your feelings so that he has something to help you with. Men
Mm-hmm.
feel good by doing good. Women need to feel good before we can do good.
Okay.
And so this helps. This is one of those concrete tools that really helps keep that yin yang balance going,
Okay.
which is essential to the chemistry in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
try that. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys can always reach out to me through my website.
Uh-huh.
Can, um, you can ask me questions on Instagram. If it's a quick question, I'll answer it. If you need to set up a private, we can do that too. I work with men, I work with women, I work with couples. I work with teenagers.
Mm.
So, that's another resource for you. Here I'm seeing this question from Wendy. Should she tell him? Where is it? Should she tell him when she's available? Um, let's start with the things that I gave you and then see how it goes. You know, I want to make sure that he's stepping up enough. Okay. Are you good, Van? Did you have any more questions?
Well, I don't want to take up a lot of
It's
time, but
okay.
but
We're almost
okay.
done. You can, I
Okay.
mean, you guys can put your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand. But if you have something
Okay.
else, shoot.
Okay. I'll be quick. So that was what bothered me about not planning. So what I did was I said to him, I'd like for you to do planning ahead because one time he didn't
Okay,
buy the
so instead of
food.
saying that, you say,
Yes.
hey, there's something I want to talk to you about, because we don't criticize, question, preach,
Uh-huh.
teach, bitch, moan,
Oh,
or
yeah.
complain to our
Right.
men without an appointment.
Okay.
Okay, you don't want to be that nagging woman
Yeah.
stereotype. That's like the worst.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to him about something that you have an issue with, your
Yeah.
thoughts on something,
Hmm.
essentially, but you're still going to lead with your feelings, you got to make an appointment. So you'd say, hey, John, or whatever his name is, there's something I want to talk to you about, our date. Is now a convenient time, or if not now, when? And hopefully he says, yeah, now, and if not, hopefully it'll be that day. Okay.
Hmm.
And so then when you get there, you lead with a compliment. You say, hey, I've really been, and also with your feelings. So I've really been enjoying, right? That's a sentient
Hmm.
feeling. I've really been enjoying the time that we've spent together. And then let him absorb that. No, that thing, he'll be all happy with that.
Hmm.
Then you say, but I just feel more comfortable
Hmm.
when we plan things in advance. And then hear if he says anything.
Hmm.
Yeah, give him a space. If he doesn't, then you say, what do you think about planning things a little bit more in advance, like a day in advance? Try to be concrete if you can. If he doesn't come up with anything right away, just say, you can say, I have an idea. I mean, you could say maybe a day in advance, or 2 hours in advance, whatever it is that you want. And then say, what do you think?
Hmm.
And then see what he has to say. He might say, Oh, no problem. I can totally do that. I was just trying to be polite. Or he might say, "Oh, I can't do that. I've got to do everything last minute."
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Good suggestion.
Ultimately, don't keep going, don't try to convince him or convert him.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and forth once or twice. Don't let it become a fight. Just ultimately you keep track of it so that you understand for yourself, is this something that I can accept?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we accept or we reject. We don't tolerate.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
some point, it might get to a point, it's like, John, I can't do this. I need to be with somebody who makes plans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much longer I can be with you if you don't want to make plans. At some point, we let people know the price tag of their actions, but probably not like right at the beginning.
So you're saying make an appointment to talk about it?
Yeah, make an appointment to talk
Oh,
about it.
okay. Good idea. Thank you.
Okay. You are so welcome. So let me know how that goes. That's called the
Yeah.
stroke and stand. Um, okay.
Mhm.
Really
Thank
love to
you.
hear your guys' update. You're welcome and welcome to the group.
Thank you.
Okay, Nick. Can someone please send me the recording when we're done? I've been really busy, but I really wanted to talk to you. Okay. Nick, it'll be available on YouTube or on wherever you get your podcasts. So there. Here, I'll put it in here again. It's the link for the Apple podcast and also for the YouTube. Okay. Hi, Chloe. Okay. I'm feeling low. It's been 2 months since the breakup. It's hard to smile at people. It's hard to be positive. Yes. Yes. So I understand, Lee, you're not feeling that great about stuff, and that's normal. Everyone goes up and down, you know. Um, just yeah, good. I'm glad that what I said to Sophie resonated because feelings are transient and it feels like they're gonna last forever, but they don't. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that they don't and they're not permanent. Okay. Raul.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
Listen, I was curious about going along the lines of Van's scenario with her guy, and I was wondering if the guy was to suggest, I'm also thinking about myself in the situation. But if the guy were to suggest a place or a restaurant, and the girl really doesn't want to go there or really hates the place, how does she redirect that? How do you get How do you turn that around so that
Okay. So, it depends. Like if it's in the very beginning, maybe you might not say anything. But you might. If it's really bad, like you said, and she's just going to make her throw up, then she's got to say something. So you say, "Oh, that's a great idea. However, I'm allergic to shellfish and it's a lobster roll." Or whatever it is, you know. Just say, "Oh, but that actually that food Indian food makes me sick," or whatever it is. So again, it's leading with the feelings but still praising the idea.
Oh, okay. So that would be an immediate like stroke stand, like
Yeah.
thanks for thinking of that place, but that and
Yeah.
then
Oh, I
if
get
it's
it. That place has a great reputation. Such a good idea. But you know,
okay, that sounds cool.
okay. Okay, good.
Thanks.
You are welcome. I just want to return to what in the last couple minutes here to this subject of feeling bad. We live in a universe that's based on duality. So if we ever want to feel good, we also have to have times where we're feeling bad. Now, sometimes there's something that we can do. And so if you are feeling bad, look at, what in my life do I have that I don't want? And what in my life do I want that I don't have, for example? Okay. So that would be a place to start. If you're doing everything you can, then sometimes you just have to sit through the feeling and let it wash over you and process through you. And when we're dating and we're getting triggered and we're taking counter actions, this is part of the pain of change. So those are the moments where, you just have to every tear that's been suppressed, every, angry outburst that you pushed down, everything that's been suppressed or repressed, repression happening before the age of 3, so that would be things that you would never even remember. All that stuff needs to come out. Otherwise, it manifests in the body as disease. So, as much as you can, try to welcome those feelings of catharsis, if that's what it is. And that's something I help people with. Is it the pain of change, or is it the pain that change needs to take place? So, first, we do have to identify that. But if it's the pain of change, then you just got to make yourself comfortable and get through it. And know that eventually, sometime soon, but not as soon as you want, you'll wake up and the pain will be gone and you'll feel stronger, because that's the effect of doing this work. When you are taking actions, counteractions against your script, when you are cherishing your feelings and respecting your thoughts, taking actions based on that information, regardless of the outcome, that's what builds your self-confidence. So it's just like, Andrew wants to meet a guy, he's going to go out there and flirt. And he's going to give himself credit for flirting, regardless of whether it works on Monday or not, or Tuesday or whatever one incident. So it's rewarding yourself for that courage, because that's what really helps you grow. That's what really builds your confidence more than any one incident or any one rejection. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up unless there's any more questions. If I don't hear from you guys during the week, then I will see you back here. And yeah, thanks for sharing. See you soon.